Hello, and welcome to RV to Freedom Live with Carenza and Brandon.
That's Carenza.
Yeah, you're Brandon.
Nice.
We do know ourselves.
Yeah, more or
Sorry
less.
about that.
Today we're going to talk about RV clubs.
All about the different clubs and joining them. How do you decide which ones to join? What's out there, and what's like the best way to decide? Like, what are the best aspects of each?
And hi John. The last 2 weeks, we had Travis and Melanie from Escapees, come on and talk about their club, and then we had John Walker to come on and talk about FMCA. So those are two of the major clubs. We're going to talk about those. We're also going to talk about some of the other clubs you're going to start hearing about when you get into RV life.
Yeah. So we got some people joining us. Enrique from Phoenix, Brigitte, and John are here. There's some other people on. Say hi, guys, or give us a little thumbs up across the screen. Let us know you are here. So
you want to jump in?
Yeah. We'll start with some of the big clubs. You've got many options out there, and you have to figure out what's right for you. That's what this life is really all about. There's no cookie cutter way. There's no, you should join this club because it's the best one for full timers. Or
what's great is there seems to be a club for almost every lifestyle choice or RV type or special interest. I'm sure there's a scuba RV club out there that I could join.
Well, there's definitely specific chapters.
Yeah. And if there's not, Enrique and I can make one because Enrique's a scuba diver I met in Phoenix. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, Jonathan.
Hey, Jonathan. And so, there's a bunch of choices out there. And that's the thing. You've got to find what works for you because no club, no RV, no park, nothing is going to be the perfect one for everyone. So if we get into like we said, we had Escapees, people from representatives from Escapees and representatives from FMCA on the last 2 weeks.
And even within Escapees, we were just hanging out with the Escapers, which is a sub club within Escapees. And for the last 2 weeks, we've been hanging out with them, which I would think for us probably most identifies with our, the kinds of people we hang with. But we hang with lots of different kinds of people.
Yeah, so. We've been to a lot of different things. So, there's those big clubs like you might have heard of Escapees and FMCA, which currently stands for the Family Motor Coach Association. But that is changing because it's not all about motor coaches anymore. They have voted to allow towables in, so the reach is expanding on FMCA.
Yeah, so now it's a general RV club.
Right.
And even FMCA, we heard last week, they have, I don't even know how many, 70,000 members and hundreds of different chapters. So there's chapters for off-roading and kayaking and all different kinds of stuff. So there's those big clubs you've probably heard of, but there are also clubs for each brand that's out there. So if you have like a Forest River, there's the Frog Club because it's the Forest River Owners Group. Yep. There is the Newmar Country Club. We have a Newmar, and so we can go visit.
A lot of the things used to be named with K's. Yep. So at one point it was a country club. But there's all of these groups too. And these big ones, Escapees, FMCA, and even the brand specific, they tend to be about community, benefits, or learning, and all wrapped up into that. And that's their main drive on all of these. Because there are other clubs we're going to talk about too. There's other clubs tend to focus more on discounts.
Right.
And so
there's a lot of discount clubs out there. And I think when people are starting, they see all these discount clubs and they're like, I'm going to go sign up for all of them because I get all these discounts. And again, it's the same as the other clubs. You have to find the ones that work for you and the ones that fit your style.
Right. Like discount clubs like Good Sam. A lot of people have heard of Good Sam because they have their fingers into a lot of different things too. And
you can't go in a camping world without being pitched a Good Sam membership.
Right, right. So this Good Sam, KOA has their club that's full of discounts, and Passport America, which does have a their program that's discount, but they all have other benefits too. They're mainly discounts, but they all have some other benefits that might be interesting for you. So with all of these, it's just about you need to decide if you will use the benefits for each club. And that includes the community on the benefits, just different things. So let's get into escapees. How do you decide if escapees is the right club for you? If you should be.
I know a real easy way.
What's that?
If you need mail service from Texas, you're probably going to join Escapees, and congratulations, you're a club member.
Yay!
And also they serve South Dakota and Florida. There are a lot of other options in those states, so you may not choose them, but if you do,
you're an Escapees member. Yeah. So no matter what, you're going to be part of that membership and be part of that club. And now you can still choose to use or not use benefits, but you are part of the community.
But now that you're part of the club, you might as well get into some of the benefits because they're there for you. And, the more you use them, the better the whole experience is.
Right. So, what are some of the other things besides the mail service that Escapees, is known for or you could use? So they do have a lot of parks. They have some that they own. And some that are co-ops. Right. Some that are co-ops. So it might be that you want to explore their parks and you want to use their system. They also have discounts at other parks. They have a whole discount park system. So, and they'll give you a for that.
Even if you're not you're not going to camp at every single Escapees park. Even for us as members, they're inexpensive.
Right.
And there's a park right here in Yuma. And when we have to dump and fill our tanks, it's going to cost us $15 to $20 to dump and fill here. Or we could just go stay at the Escapees Park for one night, dump, fill, take a nice long shower, plug in, charge the batteries real well. Right. So, it's might as well use it because we're a member.
Right. Or if you want to buy into one of the co-op parks because you want to have a home base or you're looking to stay somewhere, that's a totally good idea on that too. And you would, of course, need to be an escapee. Yeah. So we found some of their parks we've been to the co-ops and to
the Escapees owned parks.
Right, Escapees owned Rainbow's End in Livingston. And they each have their own flavor and they have some interesting things going on. The one in Pahrump has they have
an oil pit, so you can go pull your motorhome or your car in there and do your own oil changes. You only have to pay $2 for the oil disposal fee. So that was cool. So as soon as we saw that, we went and used it. They have clubhouses, and these clubs that have parks, their clubhouses seem to be super active. We went in one night thinking we'll go borrow a DVD from the borrow library and it'd be quiet and we'd put it in. We went in and the whole place was lit up and there was people watching movies and people playing games and, playing cards and having food and, it was crazy. So that is the whole community aspect of it where, everybody gets into it and they understand they're all part of the same club. And so it gives you something in common that you can talk about.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, Don. Hey, Jim, using Jeanette's laptop. We have a trick there. So also just support and their advocacy because Escapees is really big on that. They do advocate for RVers' rights. So if you just want to support that, it's a good club to join. Right. And you will be notified about things that
there was
can affect you.
There was a thing a couple of years ago where Texas was going to require that you had your vehicle inspection done in order to re-register your vehicle. Well, if you're a full-time RVer and you're not in the state of Texas and your registration expires, that would have meant you'd have to truck it all the way back to Texas, get inspected to re-register. Right. And that's one of the things they kind of fought with them. They're like, hey, there's people that aren't going to be here. And so the law has changed. So now we don't have to have an inspection when we register. And if our inspection expires when we're out of state, we have 3 days to get it done when we get back in state. And as long as we never go back in the state, we don't have to get it done.
But you can totally do it within 3 days because you can just do it anywhere.
Yeah, in the state. You can do it anywhere in the state. So those kinds of things make it really good. And also, how do you voting, absentee voting, what district you're in and all of that. Some people don't want to let RVers vote because you're not there, which is kind of understandable, but we are American citizens. Right. We need to vote.
We do live in a gray area, but we should have a vote. So they help take care of that. Make sure that we get to keep our rights.
Yes.
And let's get into some of the community aspect because as if you watched the show the other week, they are big on community. Mm-hmm. And they have their big escapade, which has a lot of seminars and a lot of learning that goes along with it. And you meet a lot of people there. Yeah. It's a very large rally that they hold during the year.
And if you go to the escapade this year, we might be there. We might be there. So.
But they also have chapters, and they have what they call birds of a feather groups. So the birds of a feather groups are interest groups mm-hmm. that, they could revolve around pets.
Or John could start a birds of a feather group for motorcycle riding Chihuahua campers of North America.
Yeah.
If you can find one other motorcycle riding Chihuahua owner, which we actually know one other.
Right.
The two of you, and she's an Escapees member, I believe. So the two of you could start a club, a birds of a feather group, and it's done. You've got it.
Yeah.
Start recruiting.
Hey, Amber. We know Amber's an escapee. She was just at the Escapers Bash with us.
Yeah.
So, they do have these birds of a feather groups and chapters. And these groups, they have like newsletters and things, but they also go camping together. They have meetups. Mm-hmm. So if you want to have this kind of interest-based group and people to meet up with, it can be a great thing.
Yeah.
That's another reason to join. And as we mentioned, the subgroup Escapers, we're members of Escapees and we're escapers.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything extra to be an Escapers member. It's not like you have to pay extra. You just, if you want to be, you are.
Right.
And you can show up at events. Right. You got to register for the events. They don't get too crowded, but as of now, there's not any extra cost or anything.
Exactly. It's you're a member of one, you're a member of the other. And the Escapers, they tend to be active and adventurous.
Yeah. A little rowdier.
A little rowdier, we will say.
Yeah.
But the convergences are a little more laid back.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as
formal,
detailed and formal with
it's not as structured with you don't have like all day of activities. A lot of escapers are still working, so there's not usually many activities during the day. Most of the activities start around happy hour and then go into the night. It's geared towards a different type of person. There are plenty of retired escapers, and escapees.
Yeah, both.
But
it's not like you have to be working.
Yeah.
Because you don't, because a lot of people don't.
But it is understood that a lot of people are going to be working age still and, have that lifestyle. And,
still may have kids and some don't. Yeah. So there's all that. And so, we found a lot of our community within Escapers, and we like to attend the convergences, and we even hosted one. So for us, it was a good start, and it's another good way to meet people, especially if you're getting started in RVing and full timing and you want to meet others on the road. Attending these types of things, the Escapers convergences, or just joining the birds of a feather groups and going to that stuff, it's in chapters. It's a great time to meet people because you already have common interests.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
and then they have the hops.
Oh yes, and the hops.
And she's going to tell you what that stands for.
Head Out program.
Yes, I forgot. But the Head Out program, they're like caravans, so they hop from place to place. So if you wanted to travel with people and go visit places maybe you've never been, or you want to experience with other people, and it can be nice to go on these because, if you're only staying somewhere a week or 2 weeks, you might not know all the good things, and it's a lot of research to figure it out. And if you join a hop, they're going to drop you right in, and they're going to, have activities scheduled that you can choose to do or not do, but it'll, you can maximize your time in different places. And,
and you meet the people that you're traveling with. You're already traveling with everyone, and you get a lot of camaraderie that way. So I think those are the main points. We feel like there's a lot of other stuff that you go on the escapees.com and you can pull up all these other little benefits that there are. There's articles. They publish a magazine, and they have bloggers on their website.
They have Facebook.
Where?
We're one of the featured bloggers. But,
yeah. You won't find much from us right at the moment. But there's just a lot of stuff. But those are some of the main things that we think. The mail is obvious. If you're using the mail service, congratulations. But I would like the advocacy that they do. if you want to join interest groups, if you want to go to the Escapade, if you want to go to the Escapers convergences, those are all great reasons to join Escapees. And
then there's FMCA. And the reason we're talking about these two in specific is they are the two biggest RV clubs.
Right.
And FMCA is different from Escapees. Escapees is a business, and FMCA is a member-owned nonprofit or not-for-profit group.
Right.
And it has chapters all over the country.
Mm-hmm. And they also have chapters that are based around interests, kind of like so we were talking about interest-based groups within it.
So you may be able to find a motorcycle riding Chihuahuas of North America group.
I bet there's motorcycle. I'm not sure about the Chihuahua part.
And something that's a little bit different, Escapees does have a lot more full-timers in it because of the mail service. A lot of people join to get the mail service, and then they kind of fall into all the other benefits. FMCA has a broader mix of everybody. So there's a lot of part-timers, a lot of vacationers, a lot of full-timers. So you'll have chapters that are nationwide. You'll also have regional chapters where they're a tight-knit group, and maybe they live in that area in their house, but from that area they travel, or they travel around that area. So it's got a real broad, there's so many different kinds of chapters in FMCA.
Yeah. There's full-timers chapter, there's off-roading chapter, there's things like that. So again, that's one of those reasons where if you want to camp with these people, learn more about the lifestyle that way, meet people who have the same interests as you, it can be another way to meet people.
Yeah. And that's when you're starting out, these clubs are pretty invaluable. Amber even said it here that, she can vouch for the convergence because she met so many people in the last couple of weeks, and it does get exhausting, but FMCA rallies, escapees rallies, when you're starting out, having people that on the road just makes road life easier.
Right.
You have someone to talk to, someone that is similar to you, someone that understands when your black tank's acting up and can feel your pain.
Right. You have that connection already.
Yeah. You have people you can ask, hey, where's a good campground in this location? Or, where's a good boondocking spot there? Or have you visited this site? Or, what's the temperature going to be like this time of year when I go there? So it's great to meet people. And then from there you can, maybe you can go and find your own friend group or your tribe and, start meeting with them separately. But, they're great ways to just get out and get involved with a lot of RVers real quick.
So like Amber, we met in person at the Escapers, but she actually joined RV to Freedom group. And so she's been a Freedom RVer from the beginning too. Yep. She joined, that was her first group, she said. And Amber, I hope you're feeling better.
Right.
Because we know that she left with, not so great with the seasons here going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of wind making a lot of dust and getting everybody's allergies, even me.
Yeah. But so that's the connection we get to have. We've talked to Amber in the group so many times, and we finally got to meet. And having that connection in person.
And she got to meet 400 other people all at once.
Yeah. It was big this year.
Yeah. But FMCA, they have the FMCA conventions. That's what they call their major rallies, is called the conventions.
They do them twice a year. So they have, a one where there's votes and everything.
Yeah, there's usually an East Coast one and a West Coast one, or kind of a central one, and then the East and West move.
Yeah.
So.
And they're really large. So it's comparable if you're talking about saying Escapees, they have Escapade, and then FMCA has their national conventions. And then within that, they have the chapters have their own meetups and rallies and things like that. So if you want a smaller one that's focused around more of an interest, you might look into that more. But again, FMCA's, the conventions are also going to have seminars and learning stuff like that.
Right. And Jonathan mentioned the next FMCA convention is in Perry, Georgia. And those are huge. I mean, they'll expect 1,500 to 2,000 RVs or more. And that sounds overwhelming. And we attended the one that was in
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis, sorry. And we were there and we spoke at some seminars for them. And, it was one of our first times at a rally that big. And we just thought this is going to be a nightmare. But they're super well organized. They've been doing them forever. They've been doing them for, how many years? 60, 70 years they've been doing these conventions. Yeah. So they have it organized. They've got golf carts to get you all over the place. They've got trolleys. They have things timed really well. They park people really nicely. So, we really enjoyed it. And what's great about this is it's not the same as a campground. In a campground, people come in and they camp and they're living their life, and maybe they don't want to be bothered. But when you go to the convention, everybody's expecting to meet people. So everybody walks up to each other and says, "Hi, who are you?" And, you start to find your people again. And it just makes it more open. You don't feel awkward just saying hello to somebody in a campground.
Yeah. And Brigitte said that's way too many people for introvert here.
We are too.
Actually, yeah, we are too. So that's why Brandon was like, "Oh, this is going to be a nightmare," because there's so many people. Yeah. But you learn to kind of go around and figure out the things that you want to attend, and then go back to your
you can go
RV
back to your RV and you can have some peace.
But there's also then look into like the smaller ones. The chapter rallies, the
smaller local meetups,
smaller local things, and ones that are based around interest groups might be better. FMCA also has a lot of benefits that they work on that could appeal to you, so that might be a reason to join. A lot of people, and I may even know this, join because of the tire benefit. That is like the first thing of how people get in. And I mean, we've used the tire benefit before for Michelin tires, and because when you're buying tires for an RV,
they get expensive fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had a blowout on a tire. We had to buy a new tire, and that saved us like $80 right there on that tire. And the cost of membership for the first year is like $60. So I was like, oh, that's easy. And then we had to buy 5 more tires and $80 off each one of those. It was a no-brainer. So that's how people that's how they get you. That's how they get you in. And then once you're in, you're a member, and there's all these benefits. So why not, dig into the benefits and maximize it? You've paid for it already.
Right, right. Another reason that some people like to join and keep it on their roster is the FMCA Assist program, because that's a nice benefit. It's like, it's not insurance, but it's like having a little peace of mind.
If you should have a serious medical issue or an accident or something serious where you can't drive anymore, or you need to get back to your home state or something, they have a program that can help get you home, and they can actually get people to bring your RV back and bring your tow car and bring your family back. So it's a really great program because we're out all over the country and things happen, life happens.
Exactly. So, you never know. But they can get all that stuff back as long as you follow the procedure.
So if you watched last week's video, John explained that, as long as you follow and you do it the way it's supposed to work, then it does work.
Don, we do have links to FMCA, basically all the clubs we're talking about. It's on the RV to Freedom page, and you click resources, and it's all right there.
Yes.
And it's fmca.com. is the website. So along with the tires and the assist program, they have a lot of other deals and discounts that they work on for members. So right now, something that's interesting is they have a tech program happening, and they have a Verizon plan, and it's 25 gigabytes. I almost said megabytes. Gigabytes of data. And it is a hard throttle after 25, but if you just need that extra, like a backup plan, or you're going to use 25 gigabytes.
When we started on the road, we only had a 20 gigabyte plan, and we made it work.
We made it work.
So, a 25 gigabyte plan's a little better, and this one's cheaper than what we had when we started. So, it's a nice plan if you can't find, one of the older unlimited plans or some of the other options out there. And, that's enough for a little bit of Netflix here and there, and, a little bit of email and stuff. As long as you pay attention to it, it'll work for you.
As long as you're not trying to live stream like us every week, you're fine, But that's definitely a good benefit.
Yeah.
And they have just a lot of other stuff. So you might want to go on and look at that. But those are kind of some of the big things, I think, from FMCA, why a lot of people join. tires get you in a lot of times. The assist program, a lot of people like to have that just in their back pocket as a peace of mind to know that they will have help if needed.
Yeah.
The deals and discounts for like Verizon and other programs, and then attending rallies and conventions.
And they have like roadside assistance programs and other things you can buy into. Once you're a member, there's other things you can buy into that they negotiate discounts and
right.
stuff.
They have go check out
there's a lot
some of the other
stuff.
Once you're a member, you can what?
I was just gonna say, Jonathan put in here that the Southeast area rally is then, and that's you might meet Jonathan down there. Yeah. So it's just kind of funny.
Yeah. So so we also have brand specific clubs. So we mentioned like the Frog Club and the Newmark Country Club. There's a club for every brand out there, especially if the brand is still around and maybe they're the parent company actually hosts that. But even with brands that are defunct now, there's still owners.
There's still huge groups. I mean, when we were in Quartzsite, the Alpine Coach, which they don't exist anymore, they had a huge meetup. They built their own tent in the desert, and they had their own. I mean, it was crazy how big their setup was. But there's plenty of groups, and it's great for, so you can just learn more about your coach, and you can, be with other people that like the same kind of RV. And, if you had like a Forest River specific model, you can, how do I find where this switch is? And then, maybe someone in your club has that exact same model. Airstream people, they always have club groups, they meet up. And
there's all that type of stuff. It's a nice camaraderie to hang out with people who have the same RV. It's just kind of fun because, you get to see your RV around and the brands, and you can trade tips and stories. You just get to learn more about the brand and your specific RV. And like you said, someone might have the same little issue as you or something else they can help out with. And you can find those online. And a lot of times they'll have some kind of forum or maybe a Facebook group. And then they often too have meetups and they get to camp together. So you get to meet these people in person. So again, it's just another great way to meet people.
Nice. Yeah. And Jim/Jeanette said Frog is free if you're a member. So there's like the Forest River Owners Group. There's a Newmark Country Club. Airstream has a club. Monaco has a club. If you have it, there's a club for it. There's clubs just for bus conversions. There's school bus conversion clubs. There's van clubs. So there's everything. And it's great because you can see how other people are living in their RVs and maybe learn some trick that you could do for yours. Or, with the big major brands, it's nice because a lot of times the parent company will get involved with the club and maybe they listen and maybe the RVs get a little better in the future for other people. And they,
right. Because sometimes that the parent company is hosting things for club members.
Yeah.
So we did have a question from Beth about roadside assistance not included in the price
of FMCA.
Yeah, but I'm going to say it with both because he mentioned it with FMCA, but Escapees also has a roadside assistance program. And no, it's not included in the price for either of them because their actual dues are pretty low.
Yeah.
So this is just a service that they have on top of that.
Yeah, it's like they've negotiated a good price for you with a good carrier. And, if you were to go to that carrier yourself and get it, you wouldn't get that same price. So that's kind of how that works.
Right. Yeah. All right. So those are kind of the ones that we feel are based around community and benefits and learning education.
Learning.
Yeah. But then there are the discount clubs.
Yeah.
So if we talk about the biggest one that you hear about is Good Sam. Good Sam Club. And Good Sam Club, they have their roadside assistance program and all of that stuff too, but it's not part of Good Sam Club. When you join the Good Sam Club, those are extra things that they offer and you don't even have to be a club member.
Yeah, they even have insurance. You can even get insurance for your RV through them. That.
So the main things that you would want to look for at Good Sam Club, like a lot of people join, is, again, it's mainly about the discounts. So they do have discounted network of parks, of RV parks, and that's 10% off a daily rate. So for for us, or when you're thinking about it, it's if you're going to stay at a daily rate at a private park.
Yeah.
So if you're staying for a week or longer, you don't usually get that discount because they're already discounting on the week.
Yeah, they're discounting the week or the month or whatever.
Yeah, longer stays already discounted. So if you plan to stay a few days at parks all over, and again, private parks, we're not talking about state or national parks or anything like that, it can be worthwhile, if you plan to use it. They do own Camping World, so they do have 10% off the Camping World, just everything.
At the Camping World store.
Camping World
and now
store.
they just said that they're also offering free shipping from campingworld.com.
Right.
I mean, let's get real here, though.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Camping World prices aren't the best prices in the world. So we like the 10% off because there's oftentimes we're traveling and there's a Camping World. We'll pull in, we'll walk the aisles and be like, oh, there's a weird sink doohickey that will help our RV life.
Or if we need something right then. Yeah. And that tends to be when we personally purchase.
Yeah, like we need a tube of Dicor, and they're going to have Dicor. Like Home Depot doesn't have that.
Right. Well, and that's oftentimes when we purchase the membership too. If we need to renew or something, and we know that it'll work out where we get the discount on the Camping World goods.
And there's always a special on the membership. So you can always get 2 years for the price of one. And there's always.
I don't think that's their. It's usually a $25.
She knows better than I.
Yeah, I'm like that's not them, but it's usually a $25 gift certificate
at Camping
World.
At
Camping World, and so that negates part of your fee if you use the gift certificate.
Right.
So you just need to make sure that it's something that you will use and you do use it, and that way you maximize the benefit.
But then they did just start the free shipping. And like that's nice, but there's so many places online you can get better prices in Camping World, then the free shipping is not going to matter. And most of us RVers are going to be Amazon Prime members. So
they did buy Gander Outdoors too, so now the 10% goes over there. Also,
that's nice.
Yeah, if you use Gander's Outdoor and all of that, and they have specials going on for members at Camping World and all of that stuff. And they do have a gas program, which is nice if you're filling up at Pilot or Flying J's. It's 5 cents off of gas and 8 cents off of diesel. And
the dump station's a little bit cheaper. If they have the RV dump lanes, you get a little bit of a discount on the dump lane there. So we do use that. And again, Pilots and Flying J's are a little bit more expensive than the smaller locals, but if you got
convenient.
They're right on the highway. If you've got a big motorhome, especially a big diesel, you can go into the truck lanes and fill up real quick. So they're super convenient. So having that little bit of extra discount helps a lot. Yeah.
So again, they have lots of little other benefits, 10% off of like protection and all of this stuff. They do have an RV trip planner on their website. So that's kind of a fun thing. I use that before. I actually think it's pretty nice. So again, no, there are other ones out there. Right. So if you don't plan to be a Good Sam member, that's not the only reason to join. But if you want to stay at private parks for less than a week and you want that 10% off, or you shop at Camping World a lot and you want the 10% off there's a lot of 10% off stuff.
Right. I guess what we could say about them though is, as soon as somebody finds out you're an RVer, you're going to start getting Camping World ads all the time. And you're going to see an ad, and it's going to seem like some super great deal to join the club, and you're going to feel like you got to rush out and join. There's always a super great deal to join Good Sam. So don't feel pressured to go join right away.
The gift certificate happens most of the time.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you about it every time you go into Camping World.
Yeah.
They do have other discounts, their RV shows that are run by them. You get discounts on that.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure which ones, are run by them. So,
wasn't the Pomona show a Good Sam show?
I'm not sure.
Okay. So then the next club, big club that people tend to join, is KOA.
So that's Campgrounds of America, and
pretty much most RVers know of this because even non-RVers.
One thing that you see along the roadside, the signs for.
Yeah. Yeah, you see the yellow signs along the road. They're pretty good at advertising and marketing themselves. And KOAs tend to cater a lot to families. So if you have kids, there's usually a ton of cool stuff for kids to do there. And KOAs have different levels of parks, and they're actually getting better at describing the different levels. So you know if it's a park that doesn't have a lot of features, or
called
if it's a journey park, because you're on a journey and you just stop and, you know, for a few days. And then they have parks that have all kinds of stuff. They got mini golf and all kinds of playground stuff and, you know, lots of things to keep kids happy. And they're very family oriented. So if those are your kinds of parks, then the membership can be worth it.
Right. So they have things like it's 10% off the daily site fees. Mm-hmm. And that, I mean, that's the main benefit you're getting there. And the cost is $30 for the program. And like for us, we don't have kids. We don't stay in KOAs that often. But sometimes one stay basically pays for that.
Yeah. And sometimes, depending on where we are, it's kind of like the only option.
Yeah, like Fort Collins, Colorado.
Yeah. Or we stayed at Devil's Tower. There was a really nice KOA with a view of Devil's Tower right in front of it.
Yeah, it was
$75
right
a night. But other than that,
we were also there
Sturgis week.
During Sturgis.
Yeah.
So
but that membership helped a lot right then to kind of knock the edge off of that $75 a night for those couple of days we were there.
Right. But it's one of those things where, you know, look at if you're going to purchase it, or even if you're staying at a KOA and you're like, should I go ahead and buy that? You know, I don't know if I'll use it. If you make one more KOA stay, sometimes it's worth it. Because we did that where we didn't purchase it the first time we were there. I thought, we're not probably going to use it again. And then we ended up staying in another KOA and needing it because it made sense to go ahead and buy it because we got a discount then on top of paying for it. And it was like, well,
exactly.
We should have just bought it before and we would have gotten a discount prior. But it's one of those things where 10% off daily fees. They do have coupons and you get points that accrue towards cash off a stay.
One of the nice things that they have that a lot of people don't really know about is they have a deal with Essex Credit. Sorry. Allergies. They have a deal with Essex Credit, which is one of the big financiers for full-time RVers. Where if you go through KOA to Essex Credit and then you actually sign a loan, they have some benefits on that. You get a camping card for KOAs. I think ours was $200. Yeah. So it was $200 of free camping.
Right.
And we were going to make the loan anyway.
We had that, since we had the membership and I just happened to see it in an email and I was like, well, we might as well get that.
And I think it's like no closing fees on the loan or something like that. But if you're going to be financing an RV for full-time use, or you're already on the road and you're going to buy a new one, Essex Credit tends to be pretty much the only company you can deal with anyway. So you might as well go through KOA. You know, you sign up for them, you go through them to Essex, and then you get $200 in camping once you've done your loan. So it just helps every little thing that can take the edge off a little bit.
And they have other things like the KOA Tech, where it's a 24-hour helpline where you can talk with a tech representative. Yeah. So they'll walk you through issues.
Yeah, troubleshooting issues. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can only do it so many times per month. 5
calls a year, I think.
Oh, per year. So it's pretty serious. But apparently it's a really, it's a real technician that can help you. So it'd be interesting to see how that pays off. Mm-hmm. They do have, they have a mail program too. Like everybody's got a mail program.
Right. And they have roadside assistance too.
Yeah. But I think, we were looking at their mail program and it's not as hands-on as like the one that FMCA works with, the one that Escapees works with, and the other ones that you hear about all the time. It's more of they just hired a company to handle mail. You can't really call someone up and deal with it. So I think that's just kind of it's another thing they can put on their list, but I don't really think that's a great benefit.
It was interesting, but they have, so they have their own roadside assistance program too. And then they have partner deals with Dish TV and Geico and things like that. So it's one of those things where if you're looking specifically for that stuff, you might want to go ahead and look at those deals and see if it's worth it to join for you.
Or the other way around, if you're going to camp in a KOA anyway.
That's the first reason I would say.
Then get it, but then look at all the other stuff they have because you've paid into it. Maybe you can maximize that and even get more benefits out of it. Right.
So if you're going to be a KOA camper, it's definitely worth it. And if you have kids and you want to be in those parks with all that stuff that's like out there for kids.
They have these big giant, it's these big giant air pillows. It's like a giant trampoline, but it's a big vinyl pillow you can jump on. I jumped on it. I thought it was fun.
It was fun.
And they have ice cream socials and little trains that drive around the parks, depending on the park.
Right. The one in Durango is really nice. They even have a garden that.
Yeah, and you can go pick out of the garden.
Yeah, give you stuff out of the garden. But it's one of those clubs that it's not exactly for us, but we do use it at times.
Yeah.
And then the other part or club that we want to talk about was Passport America. And a lot of people have heard of this because it's 50% off of campgrounds. Now, it's not 50% off of campgrounds anytime, anywhere.
Yeah.
It's their network of campgrounds, and it's not the ones they own, but just ones that are members of it. And it's usually off season, and it's usually for a few days.
Right.
That's typical.
Yeah, it's the idea of it is it helps the campground fill up when they're not busy. And if you're traveling and you're near one and you just want to stop somewhere, it's great because it's 50% off. But just don't think you're going to go into South Florida in the wintertime when everybody's down there at their peak season right by Orlando and get 50% off, But if you want to go in that season between winter and summer,
the
shoulder season when it's not as busy in Florida, it's a little bit hotter, but it's not summer when everybody's partying yet.
Right.
And you can get some great deals. We stayed in a park for $45 a night
in the Keys.
10 miles from Key West.
Yeah.
And that's almost as cheap as the state parks down there.
And we just stayed in Desert Hot Springs. And it's under this place is under new management. So right now they're allowing
14
Passport
days.
America members stay there for 14 days for half off.
Yeah.
And we didn't get to use 14 days, but
but now is peak season there.
It's peak season, yeah.
It's $22 a night. Hot springs, warm swimming pools and hot tubs and activities.
Yeah,
I mean, they had.
It was a pretty nice park. I mean, they had a lot going on there.
So that was cool. And then Kim's mentioning too that there's some places will still give you some amount of discount on Passport America in the season, but it really comes down to finding out if the park is in the system and then finding out what the discount is at the time, because every park can choose the rules they want to put on it.
Right. And it's on passportamerica.com.
Yeah.
You can find out those rules. And we do have a link to that in our resources page that Brandon posted.
Yeah, I posted a link to it in here. I'll just dump it again. So
it just needs to be pinned. But the other thing that Passport America does that's kind of interesting is they actually have rallies and caravans too.
Yeah.
So
which we thought was kind of weird. It's
I mean, I've always seen that because we get the emails. They send out a newsletter, or they call it an online magazine, and it has a lot of articles that you can link to or click to and read. So they send out a lot of information, but they always talk about the rallies and caravans. I can't say that we have any experience with those.
But they seem, from the way they talk about them, they seem to be popular and they seem to fill up. So if you want to go rally with other people who also like Passport America, that they have that.
Right. Yeah. It's just another way to meet people and stuff. So it's interesting because it has a little bit more than just the discounts. Like they're bringing this aspect into it too.
And again, it's that same thing. Okay, I'm a member of this. What else do they do? Because there's so many other features that every club has, and it's just to maximize your membership. So, which ones do you need to run out and buy right now?
None of them.
None of them.
None of them. You need to figure out what's right for you. Evaluate how you're going to use it. And especially with the ones that are discount clubs, just wait until you need it.
Yeah. If you find a park that's Passport America and you want to go there, then you call Passport America the day before and you sign up for Passport America. And that way, because it's a year membership, and that way you get all of your year. If you sign up now, but you don't use it for 6 months, when you've got 6 months, you didn't, that's gone. And it's the same with KOA. The time we sign up for it is when we're standing in the office at the KOA and we're
they totally know that. They will help you and say, it will ask if you're a member. They always ask, but they'll say you will save money on this time. You might as well sign up for it, or when you call or when you're there in the office.
John had a question. What's kind of the common stay period on a Passport America?
3 days, I would say, is often typical. Sometimes they're 5. We've been to a few places that did 14 days, though, so you can always find that. But
often it's a shorter stay.
It's a shorter stay because they're just trying to kind of fill in like little spots. And it's a lot of people use it between as a stop between stays and other places if they're going from one area, like going to Texas to California, and they're just making shorter stops along the way, or between boondocking stops, you stop and fill up.
It's another place that's great. You can.
I'm trying to pin this comment.
It's okay. We'll pin it later. But we if you're boondocking and you're moving from one boondocking spot to another, you can pull in for one night. You can dump your tanks. You can take that long hot shower that you've been missing because you've been taking all these short little Navy showers. You can plug in and let your batteries get a good charge on them, because even on solar, your batteries aren't going to get a really good charge. And, then you can go back out boondocking again. And it's almost the same price as paying to dump and fill your water somewhere.
Right. So that's one of the reasons to join. Then we've let ours lapse in the past, and then we signed back up so we could go out to Desert Hot Springs and hang out with friends for a cheaper rate. I mean, why not? It was going to pay for itself in 2 nights. So, and
there's many other smaller clubs out there. But yeah, basically you just sign up for these clubs as you need them. Don't feel like you've got to get in now and it's going to take some amount of time for your membership to get processed. I mean, I think Passport America, you call the day before. KOA, you can do it while you're staying there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it while you're driving there.
There.
The passenger can be calling while you're driving. There is another club out there that sounds like Passport America that does 50% off.
Yeah, like Happy.
Yeah, I forget the name of it, but it's not Passport America. Passport America is the one that has the largest network of campgrounds, and it's really the only one of the 50% clubs you need to bother with.
Right.
Any of the other ones, they either have a real small network or there's one that's actually kind of a scam.
Like a scam, yeah. Parks.
Yeah, they
list are not part of it.
I've never heard of them.
They've never heard of this club before, but they're listed in their books. So
as far as 50%
Passport
clubs,
America is legit.
That's Passport America.
Yeah.
That's the only one. So that's basically it, is just sign up when you need these things. Don't go blowing the bank, and figure out what you like.
Yeah, figure out what you'll use, because you don't need to belong to all of these if you're not going to get the use out of them.
Yeah.
And if you want to hit that community, look at Escapees and FMCA and figure out if one of them really appeals to you.
Mm-hmm.
You can
see if there's a rally or a meetup near you or somewhere you want to go, and go go to one of those, because when you're starting out, those are great things. Being able to meet a whole bunch of people real quickly, helps you start to find your people.
Yeah.
And you'll start realizing that you're going to have a lot more people on the road than you. Mm-hmm. Most everybody has a lot more friends on the road than they ever did in their house.
Hey, do you guys want to come have a rally with us at some point?
Yeah. Should we have an RV to Freedom rally where we can all,
get the Freedom RVers together, right? I mean, hey, we all
might as well.
We're all talking online anyway.
I mean, I think I know everybody that's leaving comments anyway.
But the brand specific clubs too, a lot of community there. And if you want to learn more about your RV, it's a good way. But those are the 3 that I, focus on the community and the benefits, but look at their benefits, see if anything would really stands out to you and would work for you.
Yeah. And just, there's a couple questions. There was a comment about Harvest Hosts and a comment about 1,000 Trails, and we don't really consider those clubs. They're more like membership programs.
Right.
You're buying in for some benefit. So 1,000 Trails, you can almost think of it like a timeshare. You're paying some amount of money up front so that you have some future use in their parks. And they've had a lot of plans over the years. There's a lot of different ways to get into the system. And what's really cool about 1,000 Trails, the same with all these other parks, is most of them you can try before you buy. You can stay in the campground just like a regular person and pay the regular daily rate. You don't have to go join 1,000 Trails to find out if you like 1,000 Trails. And, I'm sure you can find someone to give you the sales pitch and, sit you down, because it is timeshare-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. And we love Harvest Hosts. We use that. But again, we're just kind of classifying it as more of a membership program, so that we can't talk about them all because we're already 10 minutes into before we finish an hour here. Yeah. So,
but we did actually meet the owners of Harvest Hosts. They're super awesome people. So I am sure we're going to try to get them on here.
Yeah, I think we're going to be doing some kind of show where we're talking about that a little more. So
we can get into the details of that.
Yeah, because the memberships and like things like Boondockers Welcome and stuff like that, we kind of put those into another lump so we can talk about that at another time. Because they don't have they're awesome, but they don't have these extra benefits that even like Passport America does with their rallies and caravans. Yeah. So it's not
as much about the community. It's more about, I'm buying in so I can have experiences, or I'm buying in so I have access to camping spaces, that sort of thing. Right. So we'll have a whole nother show about that at some point pretty soon.
Thanks, guys, for I see a lot of comments here. I think we're gonna have to work on this. We're gonna have some rally. Jonathan said, "Woo, yes!" And Chad, we just got to meet in person. Of course, anytime, anywhere. Susan's yes. Jim, I should say. Yeah. Jim masks as Jeanette said, absolutely. Dawn's like, that sounds great. You guys that's awesome. So, Jim does want to wait till we hit the road, till they hit the road full time. But yeah, we've been talking about it, so we'll have to definitely look into that. But yeah, because we do think the community is a big aspect of being out here and being full-time, and it's helped us a lot. It really got us into it. We were lucky enough to meet a bunch of people when we started just because of the timing of where we were.
And RVing's changed for us. It's less now about locations, and it's more about who's going to be in a place. It's not like, I'm going to go hit every single national park this year. It's more like, you're going to Moab? Well, I'll go to Moab too. Oh, you're going to be there? Well, we'll go there. Like right now where we're camped, there's 8 to 10 RVs of people we know camped around us. I mean, some are stragglers left over from the escapers thing, and some are other people that pulled in afterward because they knew people were here. And that's what makes RVing great. And that's what keeps you motivated to keep going. Because there's a point, at first it's a great excitement just to go to all these new places. Then after a while, it's like, I've been to all these places. Now what? Mm-hmm. And so this is what keeps it going. But we enjoy the community too. That's why we created the Facebook group. Right. That's why we talk to you guys, and we want you guys to talk to us. And
yeah, but we love the community, but that's like we have ours, but we're still members of Escapees. We're still members of FMCA. Yep.
Passport America, KOA now.
Yeah, but those aren't the community ones. I know. But yeah, as much. But we still enjoy.
And that's what's cool about it
bringing
too.
Out,
you can
use it.
Right. Yeah, we don't want you out there paying for things you don't need.
Right. Yeah. So I hope this was helpful. If you guys have any other questions, sorry,
we're fighting.
I'm going with each hand into things here, but it's all about just figuring out which ones you will use. So yeah, the community, the discounts, look at the benefits of things, look at the discounts on the discount clubs if you're actually going to use it, and hold off until you need to use it, because you want to maximize your year that you get when you join, right? I mean, if you're not going to buy anything or stay at a park, why would you pay for Good Sam 5 months out?
Don't let Camping World, trick you into thinking you got to buy right now because that deal's going away. It's like when you go to the mall and every single store has a sale every time you go. That's the same thing at Camping World. So, I know when you first buy your RV, a lot of people are going to go out there because you got to get sewer hoses and toilet paper and chemicals and all that stuff.
It might be worth it to get that.
It might be the right time to buy it right then. Yeah. But don't feel like you have to rush and get it just because there's a deal.
Yeah. So. Yeah, but sometimes actually when you're stocking up on all that stuff, if you are going to Camping World and buying it, and you can use that $25 gift certificate that they're giving you, it might be a good time to do it. Yeah. Just make sure you're actually weighing your options and figuring out if you can use it, so that you're not just paying for everything that you don't need.
So that's what we've got to say about RV clubs for today. And pretty exhausted after the Escapers Bash. It was crazy. It was fun.
It was fun.
But being introverts, totally like a lot of RVers are, you know, we go out, we have tons of fun, and then we just got to be alone for a while so we can re-energize and be ready for the
We're
next
not even
convergence.
alone now.
I know.
We're still around all our friends. So yeah. But this is one of those things. The Escapers Bash, here we are hanging out with escapees, with escapers, with a lot of people enjoying that community and enjoying some of the benefits. So for us, beyond having the mail address, it's totally worth it because we use it. Yeah.
And we get to meet our neighbors. We all live on the same Rainbow Drive in Texas, but we're all out here. So,
yeah, our neighbors.
Yes. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you guys on the road eventually, hopefully. And see you next week. Talk about something else.
Have a good one.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this replay of our Facebook Live show.
Join our Facebook community to participate in the live shows and learn how to live in an RV.
Go to rvtofreedomgroup.com to join the RV to Freedom Facebook group.
And to be notified about our next live videos and more, sign up with the link provided below in the video description.
We want to help you find your RV to freedom.